Across the vast expanse of the galaxy, something strange was happening. The Galactic Council, made up of representatives from hundreds of alien species, was in a state of emergency. For days, the Draconian fleet, the largest and most powerful military force in the galaxy, had been on a direct course toward Earth. Known for their swift victories and ruthless tactics, the Draconians had a reputation for conquering planets in a matter of days. Their advanced technology and overwhelming numbers made them feared across the stars. Yet, as the fleet approached Earth, a shocking event occurred. They stopped communicating. No messages, no signals, no data. The Council waited anxiously, expecting some form of transmission, even if it was just to announce their successful invasion. But nothing came. The silence stretched on. At first, it was thought to be a technical glitch. After all, the Draconians were known for their impressive technology, and even the best systems sometimes failed. But as days turned into weeks, and there was still no word from the fleet, worry turned to panic. The Council summoned an emergency meeting to discuss what had happened. The Galactic Council had always underestimated Earth. Many Council members had considered the planet's inhabitants primitive, even backward. Earth's technological advancements were rudimentary at best, compared to the rest of the galaxy, and its people lived in a relatively small, unremarkable part of the Milky Way. They had little more than a few scattered colonies on their own moon, and some basic space exploration technology. The Draconians had been sent with the expectation that they would crush the human race without difficulty and establish dominion over the planet. However, Earth had never been fully explored by outsiders. Its isolation in a quiet corner of the galaxy had kept it hidden from many advanced races, and now it was as though the Draconian fleet had simply vanished. The Council tried to remain calm, but there was an air of confusion and tension among the representatives. No one could explain what had happened. The Draconians had been equipped with some of the most advanced weaponry in the galaxy. It seemed impossible that a mere human planet, with its outdated technology, could have stopped them. "We must send a team," insisted a representative from the Zorethian species, known for their intelligence and their tendency to overthink. "If we don't, we'll risk having more fleets disappear in the same way." "But how do we even approach this?" asked another council member, a large, muscular being from the Crawler system. "We've never faced anything like this before. It's as though the Draconians simply disappeared without a trace. We can't rule out the possibility that the humans have developed something unexpected," said the ambassador from the Threxan race, who had traveled the galaxy extensively. "We have underestimated Earth before, and it seems we might have made the same mistake again." And so the decision was made. A reconnaissance team would be sent to Earth, a group of skilled investigators and diplomats from various species, to get to the bottom of what had happened. Their mission was simple: find out what happened to the Draconian fleet and gather any useful intelligence about Earth's defenses. Meanwhile, on Earth, the population remained blissfully unaware of the panic brewing in the galaxy. The people of Earth went about their daily lives, continuing their work, school, and family routines. There were no signs of an invasion, no alarms going off, no ships descending from the sky. The governments and military had already dealt with the situation quietly, using their most advanced but secret technology to ensure the planet's safety. The human leaders were aware that the Draconians were coming, but they had prepared for this moment for years. With the help of brilliant scientists and engineers, humanity had developed a defense system unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They called it the Omega Shield, a system designed to protect Earth from any threat, no matter how advanced. Yet, even with the Omega Shield in place, humanity had kept it a secret. The people of Earth had no idea that their world was under such a careful watch. It was a delicate balance. If the galactic powers found out how advanced Earth's defenses truly were, they might decide to turn their attention to Earth, either as a new threat to be dealt with or a potential ally to be exploited. As the reconnaissance team made its way toward Earth, they had no idea what they were walking into. They expected to find an underdeveloped planet with little to offer. What they would soon discover would shake the entire galaxy to its core. The Draconian fleet's silence would not be the last mystery about Earth. It was only the beginning of something far greater, something no one could have predicted. The Draconian fleet's arrival was supposed to be an event of great significance. For weeks, the entire galaxy had watched as their warships made their way toward Earth, their destination clear. The fleet was large, with hundreds of massive warships, each one equipped with enough firepower to decimate entire cities. Their reputation as ruthless conquerors was well known across the galaxy, and there were few who could stand against them. But when the fleet reached the outer edges of Earth's solar system, something strange happened. It wasn't the sudden explosion of weapons fire that everyone expected, or the thunderous roar of invading ships descending upon the planet. Instead, there was silence. No battle, no attack, just the eerie quiet of ships floating in space, completely still. At first, this was met with confusion. The Draconians were always quick to act, and their usual tactic was to strike fast and hard. But this time, there was no sign of the battle that everyone expected. It was as if the fleet had just stopped. Back on Earth, the global leaders and military commanders were already on high alert. They had been tracking the Draconians' fleet for days, aware of their approach. Earth's defense systems were ready, but the plan was simple: remain calm, act with restraint, and only engage if absolutely necessary. But as the days passed and no action came from the fleet, the Earth's leaders began to grow concerned. It was impossible for such a massive force to simply stop in space without some kind of reason. Had they encountered a problem? Was it some kind of trap? The questions piled up, but no one had the answers. Unbeknownst to the rest of the galaxy, the truth was far stranger than anyone could have imagined. Earth had been preparing for an invasion of this scale for years. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders had worked together in secret to create a defense system unlike anything seen before. The Draconians, known for their ability to defeat their enemies with overwhelming strength, had never anticipated a planet like Earth being ready for them. The key to Earth's defense was not brute force, but clever technology that no other species had even dreamed of. Earth's defense system, codenamed the Omega Shield, had been designed with one purpose in mind: to neutralize any enemy that dared to invade without causing harm to the planet or its people. It was a brilliant creation, blending advanced science, quantum technology, and a deep understanding of alien systems. It was designed to disrupt the Draconian ships without firing a single shot, using a sophisticated electromagnetic pulse to disable their weapons, navigation systems, and communication devices. When the Draconian fleet had arrived in Earth's solar system, the Omega Shield had activated automatically, sending out a wave of energy that interfered with the Draconian systems. The result was immediate. Their ships came to a sudden halt. The fleet was stuck, unable to move or communicate, and completely unaware of what had just happened. For days, the Draconians remained in space, their ships floating in a suspended state, cut off from their empire and unable to contact anyone. Their once mighty fleet, which had been prepared to conquer Earth, was now a helpless group of ships, stranded in the void of space. As the days passed, the Draconians grew increasingly frustrated. Their communication systems were down, and they had no way of understanding what had caused the malfunction. They tried everything they could think of, rebooting their systems, sending out emergency signals, and even attempting to manually control their ships. But nothing worked. They were stuck. Inside the ships, the Draconians debated. Some believed that the humans had somehow developed advanced technology that was far beyond what they had expected. Others insisted that this was simply a fluke, a temporary glitch in their systems. No one could agree on what had happened, but one thing was clear: they were not in control anymore. Meanwhile, the human leaders on Earth were watching the situation unfold from the safety of their command centers. They knew that their defense systems had been successful, but they also knew that this was only the beginning. The Draconians were a powerful species, and they would not simply give up. Earth's leaders held their breath, waiting for the next move. But as the days turned into weeks and the Draconian fleet remained silent, something unexpected happened. The fleet didn't make any aggressive moves. There were no signs of attacks, no weapons fired, no attempts to break through Earth's defenses. It was as if the Draconians had simply vanished. The silence was deafening. The Council of the Galaxy, still monitoring the situation from afar, began to wonder what was going on. The galaxy had never seen anything like this. A fleet as powerful as the Draconians had never been stopped in its tracks, and the idea that Earth had done it with no apparent weapons or force was puzzling. For now, Earth was safe, but the mystery of the Draconian fleet's fate was far from over. The galaxy would soon discover that humanity had far more secrets than anyone could have ever imagined. As the days passed and the Draconian fleet remained suspended in Earth's orbit, the galaxy's greatest minds were working overtime to figure out what had happened. The Galactic Council, a vast assembly of species who had long ruled the stars, was in a state of confusion. The Draconians, known for their quick and brutal invasions, had never been stopped by any planet before. And now, here they were, trapped, unable to communicate, unable to move. The Council had sent its most capable investigators, a group of seasoned diplomats and spies, to Earth to find out what had gone wrong. They were determined to uncover the truth. Earth was a small, insignificant planet in the grand scheme of the galaxy, and the Council had always considered it an easy target. But now, it seemed that the humans had done something no one had ever expected. The team was composed of beings from several different species, each with their own unique abilities and technologies. There was Zorath, a highly intelligent alien with the ability to analyze data at lightning speed. Krelek, a giant, powerful warrior from the distant planet of Krulon, known for his keen sense of smell and ability to detect hidden threats, and Tressa, a diplomat from the peaceful Velia system, skilled in communication and negotiation. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with. Their mission was clear: arrive on Earth, investigate what had happened to the Draconian fleet, and report back with as much information as possible. But they had no idea just how much they would uncover. As they approached Earth, the team marveled at the beauty of the planet from space. It was a small blue and white world, with vast oceans and large landmasses. From this distance, Earth seemed peaceful and unassuming. There was no indication of any advanced defense systems, no signs of an organized military presence. To the team, it looked like the perfect target for an invasion. But as they entered Earth's atmosphere, their ship's sensors began to pick up strange signals. The entire planet was alive with activity, but it wasn't the usual communication traffic they had expected. Instead, there was a hum of quiet energy, almost as if the planet itself was aware of their presence. It was an unusual feeling, one that set the team on edge. "We're being watched," Zorath said, analyzing the readings. "This isn't like anything we've seen before." The team exchanged uneasy glances. They had expected to land on a primitive planet, but what they were sensing now felt far more advanced. And as they approached the surface, their ship suddenly came to a stop. A force field, invisible to the naked eye, had intercepted their descent. "What in the galaxy?" Krelek growled, his large fists tightening in frustration. Tressa quickly ran her hands over the controls, trying to override the system. "There's no way through. This is some kind of advanced energy barrier, unlike anything we've encountered." Realization began to settle in. Earth was no ordinary planet. The Draconian fleet had been stopped by something. But what? The team was now stuck in orbit, unable to land and unsure of how to proceed. "We need to figure out what's going on," Tressa said, her calm voice masking the concern she felt. "Let's try contacting Earth's leaders." But when they tried to send a message to Earth's government, there was no response. The usual channels were closed off. It was as though the entire planet had gone silent. Something was wrong. The Draconians had been stopped, but the more the team tried to understand, the more questions arose. How had a relatively primitive species managed to develop technology this powerful, and why had they never shared it with the galaxy? In a desperate attempt to understand Earth's defenses, the team decided to make an emergency landing in a remote part of the world, away from the cities and any potential dangers. The goal was simple: get a closer look at Earth's technology and uncover its secrets. When they finally landed, they were stunned by what they saw. The landscape was beautiful, untouched by the destructive nature of most advanced civilizations. Towering trees, vast open fields, and peaceful streams greeted them as they stepped out of their ship. But it wasn't the natural beauty that caught their attention. It was the buildings. Unlike anything they had expected, the human structures were full of strange, intricate designs that blended seamlessly with nature. The technology that humans had developed was far more advanced than they had anticipated. There were no large cities of metal and glass. Instead, everything seemed to be built with sustainability in mind. These were not the buildings of a primitive species. They were the creations of a species that had learned how to live in harmony with its world, while also mastering the secrets of advanced technology. "This is incredible," Zorath said, his eyes wide with amazement. "These humans, they're hiding something." They had barely begun their investigation when they were greeted by a group of humans, led by a calm and composed leader who introduced himself as Dr. Isaac Winters, a scientist working for Earth's global defense program. "We've been expecting you," Dr. Winters said, his voice warm but guarded. "We know you're here to investigate what happened to the Draconians, and we're happy to share what we've learned. But you may want to be careful what questions you ask." It was then that the team realized Earth's secret was not just about technology. It was about a philosophy of defense, one that had been carefully crafted over generations. The humans had always known that their time would come, and they had prepared in ways no one could have predicted. The team stood in awe as Dr. Isaac Winters, the leader of Earth's defense program, led them through the carefully constructed buildings. The surroundings were serene, yet there was an underlying sense of tension in the air. The humans had been waiting for this moment for a long time, and now the galaxy's most curious minds were about to find out what Earth had hidden from them for so long. Dr. Winters took them to a large underground facility, far from the public eye. The entrance was cleverly disguised, blending in with the natural landscape. As the team descended deeper into the Earth, the walls began to hum with energy, and the air grew colder. Despite the advanced technology surrounding them, everything was understated, designed to blend in with the planet's natural beauty. It was as though Earth had mastered the art of creating technology that was both efficient and respectful of nature. "This is where we keep the most advanced projects," Dr. Winters explained as they entered the heart of the facility. "It's where we developed the Omega Shield, the technology that stopped the Draconians. But it's not just about defense. It's about control. We've created systems that allow us to neutralize threats without resorting to violence." The team was captivated by what they were hearing. Earth had been able to stop the Draconians not with destructive weapons, but with something far more sophisticated, systems that could disable ships, control technology, and render even the most powerful fleets useless. But it was clear that there was more to this than just technology. The humans had not only created this defense system, they had done so with a deeper understanding of how to manage power, a philosophy that guided every decision they made. Dr. Winters continued, his tone steady but filled with a hint of pride. "The Omega Shield was developed not just to protect our planet, but to understand our place in the galaxy. We didn't want to be at the mercy of others. We knew that one day, someone would come looking for Earth, and when they did, we wanted to be ready." As the team listened, they began to realize that Earth's true strength wasn't just in their technology. It was in their ability to think ahead, to plan for the future, and to control the narrative. They had been underestimated by the galaxy for centuries, seen as a small, insignificant planet with little to offer. But Earth had always been preparing for this moment, quietly building its strength, and now they were ready to show the galaxy just how powerful they had become. The team's mission had initially been simple: investigate the disappearance of the Draconian fleet and gather information. But as they learned more about Earth's hidden technology and its strategic foresight, they realized that they were witnessing the birth of a new era. Earth was no longer the weak, defenseless planet that everyone had assumed it to be. It was a force to be reckoned with. As they moved deeper into the facility, the team was shown a room that looked like something out of a science fiction novel. It was filled with rows of glass tanks, each containing a different specimen: alien technology, strange biological samples, and other artifacts that the humans had gathered over the years. It was clear that the humans had been studying the galaxy long before they had ever made contact with other species. "These are the remains of the Draconian fleet," Dr. Winters said, gesturing to the tanks. "We were able to capture some of their ships and reverse engineer their technology. But we didn't just want to use it. We wanted to understand it. We wanted to know how they thought, how they acted, and how they saw the universe." The team was stunned. The humans had not only stopped the Draconians, but they had captured their ships and studied them in detail. They had learned everything there was to know about the Draconian Empire and its technology. And now, they were using that knowledge to create their own systems that were far more advanced than anyone had realized. As the team stood there, taking in the magnitude of what they were seeing, one question lingered in their minds: why had the humans kept all of this a secret? "We didn't want the galaxy to know what we had," Dr. Winters answered, as if reading their minds. "If other species knew the extent of our capabilities, they would have seen us as a threat. And we didn't want to be seen as a threat. We just wanted to be left alone. But when the Draconians came, we realized that we couldn't keep hiding. We had to show the galaxy that Earth was no longer a place to be ignored." The team was left speechless. What they had witnessed was nothing short of extraordinary. Earth had not only defeated the Draconians, but it had done so in a way that was far more impressive than anyone could have imagined. And now, the galaxy was about to learn that Earth was not just a small, insignificant planet. It was a hidden powerhouse, one that had been quietly preparing for this moment for centuries. As the team made their way back to their ship, they couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and respect for the humans. They had been underestimated, but now they were in control. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. The team's discovery of Earth's hidden strength had sent shockwaves through their minds. They had come to investigate the mysterious disappearance of the Draconian fleet, but what they had uncovered was far more complex. The humans were not only capable of defending themselves against the galaxy's most feared species, but they had done so with a combination of brilliant strategy and advanced technology. Earth's quiet preparation for an inevitable invasion had paid off in ways the galaxy had never expected. As the team prepared to leave Earth and report back to the Galactic Council, they couldn't help but feel the weight of what they had learned. Their mission had been straightforward: to uncover the fate of the Draconian fleet. But now, they were holding information that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. The rest of the galaxy had long underestimated Earth, but now, the tables had turned. The humans were no longer the small, weak species they had once appeared to be. They had become a quiet force, prepared for anything. "I can't believe what we've seen," Kralak, the massive warrior, said as he stood on the ship's observation deck, gazing out at the distant planet. "The Draconians were nothing compared to what Earth has built." Zorath, the brilliant alien scientist, nodded in agreement. "Their technology is beyond anything we've encountered. And their philosophy, how they think about power, about defense, about survival, it's something none of us have considered. They've mastered control without violence, a feat few species could even dream of." Tressa, the diplomat, was deep in thought. She had always believed that the galaxy's peace depended on understanding and negotiation. But what Earth had created wasn't just a defensive measure. It was a statement that the humans would not simply accept their fate, that they would not be crushed under the boot of any conqueror. "We can't ignore this," Tressa said softly. Earth isn't just defending itself anymore. They've shown the galaxy that they can change the rules. They've set a precedent. If others learn of this, it will change everything. The rest of the team fell silent, each one contemplating the magnitude of what Tressa had said. The galaxy was a vast and complex place, filled with powerful civilizations, and yet Earth had found a way to protect itself, without aggression, without violence. That was a lesson the galaxy needed to learn. The team decided that their next course of action was clear. They would return to the Galactic Council and report what they had learned. But this time, it wouldn't be just about the Draconians. It would be about the humans and their potential to reshape the galaxy itself. As their ship sped toward the Council's headquarters, a sense of unease hung in the air. They knew the Council wouldn't take this news lightly. Earth's newfound power could be seen as a threat, and the Council had a history of dealing harshly with those who challenged the established order. But the team also knew that this was a turning point. The galaxy could no longer pretend that Earth was just a small, insignificant planet. It was a force in its own right, and that fact could no longer be ignored. When the team arrived at the Council's headquarters, they were ushered into a large chamber. The Council was made up of representatives from dozens of species, all of whom had a stake in the galaxy's future. Some of them were curious, others skeptical, and a few were downright fearful of what Earth's revelations might mean. As the team began to present their findings, there was a hushed silence. They spoke of the Omega Shield, of Earth's advanced technology, and of the humans' ability to neutralize the Draconians without firing a single shot. They explained how Earth had been preparing for centuries, quietly building its strength without anyone realizing the extent of its capabilities. When the presentation was over, the room erupted into murmurs and heated discussions. Some members of the Council argued that Earth's technology could be a threat to the galaxy's peace. Others insisted that the humans had simply acted in self-defense and deserved to be treated with respect. But one thing was clear: Earth had changed the game. A representative from the Aurelian Empire, a powerful and ancient species known for their strength and wisdom, stood up and addressed the room. "This is not just a story of defense," the Aurelian said. "This is a story of evolution. The humans have done what no one thought possible. They have created a defense that doesn't rely on destruction, but on control. We must consider this new power carefully." The debate continued for hours, but the result was inevitable. Earth was no longer just a small, vulnerable planet. It was a rising power, one that could not be ignored. The Council would need to decide how to handle Earth's newfound influence. Back on Earth, Dr. Isaac Winters and his team were already preparing for the next step. The news of the Council's reaction hadn't reached them yet, but they knew that the galaxy would soon be forced to reckon with what Earth had achieved. The humans had played a quiet game for centuries, staying under the radar, but now their moment had come. Dr. Winters sat in his office, looking at a map of the galaxy. He knew that Earth's rise to power would come with challenges, and he was prepared for them. The galaxy would either accept Earth as a respected member of the intergalactic community or see it as a threat. But either way, Earth's place in the galaxy had changed forever. "We're ready," Dr. Winters said to his team. "Let's show the galaxy what we've learned." The Galactic Council was in turmoil. News of Earth's unexpected rise had spread like wildfire, and the galaxy's most powerful species were divided over what to do next. Some called for peace and cooperation, urging the Council to welcome Earth as a new ally. Others feared the unknown power Earth now possessed and called for strict control over the planet. The debate seemed endless, with no clear consensus emerging. Back on Earth, Dr. Isaac Winters and his team watched the news closely. They had expected some reaction, but the intensity of the debate among the galaxy's leaders took them by surprise. Earth had always been seen as a minor player in the galactic scene, but now it was at the center of attention. Dr. Winters knew that Earth's future depended on how the galaxy chose to respond to their newfound strength. "We can't afford to wait," Dr. Winters said to his team as they gathered in their high-tech headquarters. The longer we stay passive, the more the galaxy will try to control us. We need to make our move before others decide for us. Tressa, the diplomat, nodded. I agree. We've spent centuries preparing for this moment, and now we have to show the galaxy that we won't back down. We need to be proactive, not reactive. But we can't act too hastily. Zorath, the alien scientist, warned. We still don't fully understand the motives of the other species in the galaxy. We don't want to make the wrong move and push them into confrontation. Krulak, the warrior, stood tall, his fists clenched. I say we stand strong. If the galaxy fears us, then so be it. They'll know we're not to be taken lightly. Dr. Winters thought for a moment before responding. We need to find a way to communicate with the Council directly. We can't let them see us as a threat simply because they don't understand us. But we also can't appear weak. It's a delicate balance. The team agreed, and they began to prepare for the most important meeting in Earth's history. They would have to convince the Galactic Council that Earth was not a threat, but a potential ally, a powerful ally that could reshape the future of the galaxy. As they worked on their strategy, something unexpected happened. The sensors in their facility detected an incoming ship. It was a lone vessel, unlike any they had seen before. It appeared to be from the far reaches of the galaxy, and its approach was silent and cautious. Dr. Winters was immediately alerted. Who would be coming to Earth at a time like this? He wondered aloud. The ship landed just outside the facility, and the team quickly gathered to greet the visitor. As the door of the ship opened, they were met by a tall figure in a flowing cloak. The individual's face was hidden, but there was an undeniable aura of power surrounding them. The mysterious visitor stepped forward, and Dr. Winters raised a hand in greeting. You've come to Earth at a most crucial time. What brings you here? The figure spoke, their voice calm but firm. I am Ambassador Oros of the Adrithian Collective. I come with a message from the Council. The Adrithians were one of the most ancient and respected species in the galaxy. They were known for their wisdom and neutrality, often acting as mediators between warring civilizations. If anyone could bring clarity to the situation, it would be the Adrithians. Ambassador Oros continued, the Galactic Council is divided, as you already know. Some see Earth as a threat, while others see you as a potential ally. But there is something deeper at play here, something that could affect the future of the entire galaxy. Dr. Winters exchanged a glance with his team. What do you mean? He asked. Oros lowered their hood, revealing a face that was both alien and serene. Their eyes glowed with a faint light, and their expression was unreadable. There is a force in the galaxy that seeks to destabilize the balance of power. It is not the Draconians, nor any known species. This force operates in the shadows, manipulating events to create chaos. Earth's rise has disrupted their plans. The team was stunned. A shadow force. Zorath repeated, incredulous. You're saying that someone is working behind the scenes to control the galaxy? Oros nodded. Yes, and they know that Earth's rise is a threat to their power. They are already making moves to destabilize your planet and turn the galaxy against you. The room fell silent. The revelation was unsettling. A hidden force, manipulating events from the shadows. This was far bigger than anything they had imagined. Dr. Winters took a deep breath and turned to his team. We need to be ready for whatever comes next. Ambassador Oros's eyes flickered with something resembling sympathy. You've already shown great strength in your defense against the Draconians, but this new threat will require more than technology and strategy. You will need allies, not just weapons. You will need to unite the galaxy against this unseen enemy. Dr. Winters nodded slowly. We understand. We'll do whatever it takes. Oros turned to leave, but before stepping back into their ship, they paused and spoke one final word. Trust no one completely. The galaxy is not what it seems. You may have to fight not just for Earth's survival, but for the future of the galaxy itself. With that, the mysterious ambassador departed, leaving the team with more questions than answers. But one thing was clear. Earth's rise had set off a chain of events that had attracted the attention of a powerful and dangerous force. The battle for the galaxy was far from over. In the days following Ambassador Oroz's visit, Earth's leaders and scientists worked tirelessly to understand the implications of the mysterious force that sought to destabilize the galaxy. Dr. Isaac Winters knew they couldn't face this threat alone. Earth had come a long way. But against an enemy working from the shadows, their strength might not be enough. Dr. Winters gathered his team in a secure meeting room, their faces reflecting a mix of concern and determination. We need to unite the galaxy. If there is indeed a shadow force manipulating events, we can't afford to fight it alone. We have to find allies. Real ones. Tressa, the diplomat, nodded. We need to reach out to the council members who still see Earth as a potential ally. If we can convince them, we can build a coalition strong enough to take on this threat. Krillak, the warrior, was already strategizing. I agree. The galaxy is vast, and not every species will see Earth's rise as a threat. There will be those who respect strength and wisdom. We need to find them. Zorath, the alien scientist, raised an important point. But we can't risk spreading ourselves too thin. We'll need to focus on the species that can contribute the most to this fight. Time is not on our side. Dr. Winters paced slowly, his mind working through the problem. Right now, we don't know the full extent of this enemy. We don't even know who they are or how far their influence reaches. But what we do know is that they're moving quickly. We'll need to act just as fast. As the team planned their next steps, far beyond Earth, a vast and ancient ship drifted through the dark reaches of space. This ship, the largest in the galaxy, belonged to the Alderans, a race known for their power, wisdom, and immense knowledge of the universe. The Alderans had long kept their distance from galactic affairs, watching from afar. But now, they had seen enough. They had watched Earth's rise with cautious interest, but now they saw something they couldn't ignore. The hidden threat to the galaxy. On the Alderan ship, Elder Korra, one of the highest-ranking leaders, stood before a glowing map of the galaxy. Her sharp, ancient eyes scanned the data, her mind processing the subtle shifts in the galaxy's balance. She turned to her council. The humans have proven themselves capable. They have uncovered something that even we did not foresee. A force in the galaxy working from the shadows, manipulating events to their advantage. If we do not act now, the balance will shift, and not in our favor. One of the younger council members, skeptical as always, spoke up. But the humans, can we truly trust them? They've only just begun to make their mark on the galaxy. Korra's voice was firm but calm. The humans are not the problem. Their strength and potential are undeniable. The problem lies in the unseen forces that are shaping the future. We cannot ignore the rising power of Earth, for they are the key to our survival. The council fell silent. There were no more questions. The Alderans, ancient and wise as they were, knew that they could no longer afford to stay hidden. The time to act was now. Korra issued the order. Prepare the fleet. We are going to Earth. Back on Earth, Dr. Winters and his team were making preparations to meet with representatives from several key galactic species. They had gathered intel, identified potential allies, and were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But just as they were finalizing their plans, a new message arrived. This one was unexpected, and from a source they never anticipated. The message was from the Alderans. "We are coming," it began. "We have watched your rise with great interest. We now recognize that Earth is key to the survival of the galaxy. We offer our support." The message sent a wave of relief through the team. Earth wasn't alone after all. The Alderans, one of the most powerful and respected races in the galaxy, had chosen to stand with them. "We cannot delay," Dr. Winters said as he read the message aloud. "The Alderans have arrived, and with them, an opportunity to build the coalition we need." The team quickly mobilized, arranging a meeting with the Alderan representatives. As they boarded their ship to travel to the meeting location, The weight of their situation became clear. This wasn't just a matter of defending Earth anymore. It was about the future of the entire galaxy. When they arrived, they were greeted by Elder Cora herself. She was regal, her presence commanding respect, yet her eyes held the wisdom of countless centuries. "You have proven yourself, Earth," she said, her voice deep and resonant. "Your rise has disrupted the plans of those who wish to control the galaxy. But you are not alone in this fight. We, the Alderans, will stand with you. Together, we can defeat the shadow force that threatens us all." Dr. Winters, filled with both awe and gratitude, nodded. "Thank you, Elder Cora. With your support, we can build the coalition we need to stand against this unseen enemy." And just like that, a new chapter began. Earth, once overlooked and underestimated, was now at the heart of a growing alliance. Together with the Alderans and other potential allies, they would stand against the mysterious force that sought to dominate the galaxy. As Earth prepared for the coming storm, Dr. Winters looked out at the stars, a sense of hope filling his heart. The galaxy was vast, and the challenges were many, but Earth had proven it was ready to face them. The battle for the future was just beginning.